Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to very quickly and briefly talk about the patch notes, what's changing, specifically how my holy relics are changing with the new armor changes and the minion nerfs. Also briefly talk about my kind of initial plan for the league start. So there are a couple of things. First of all, there aren't too many like exciting things. There are a lot of nerfs, like zombies are getting nerfed pretty hard, like really hard. Also a couple minion gems are getting nerfed. But what concerns me the most is, so enemies actually gonna have armor now. So for example, currently enemies have so little armor that we are buffing level 84 enemies armor by 2782%. What? Also they say that sounds scarier than it is because their base armor is very small. But I mean, depends on how small it is currently. If level 84 enemies currently have like 300 armor, they will have couple thousands. And if they had like 900, they will have 27,000 armor, which does sound like scary. But when you think about it, when you are hitting enemies, you are not hitting enemies for 5 or 10,000 damage, you are hitting for hundreds of thousands of damage. And the armor only reduces the damage by a maximum of 10% of that armor. So if enemies would have, let's say, 30,000 armor, they will reduce your physical damage by 3,000. And if you are hitting for 200,000 per hit, that's like nothing. And initially I was very concerned, but after I did this kind of math, maybe it's not as concerning. So first of all, my pure physical holy relics, by the way, PUB has updated passive skill tree and unique items, but not new skill gems. And so the values may not be correct. I think my holy relics is still gonna be fine, but I don't know if I would still recommend it for the SSF. For League Start, I think it would still be fine. You would still need to get Joffrey's Legacy helmet, and then I think it's just gonna be fine. You're not gonna notice too much of a difference. Of course, enemies, everything is supposed to be harder and slower to kill. Obviously, all the builds should be a bit slower, and most of the minion builds as well, especially zombies. So I think it's still gonna be fine. If you want to be safe, maybe go with the elemental version and use the gloves that convert minion physical damage into elemental damage. I'm not sure how expensive those gloves would be at the league start. Maybe they're gonna be cheap, maybe like 5 years, maybe 10 years at most, hopefully. In that case, it would be much easier. You would also go with elemental equilibrium, I guess. And yeah, I think it should be fine. Hey guys, Sellout Woolfio here, just inserting myself in my own video. First of all, I wanted to thank you everyone for purchasing my merch and supporting me. And also wanted to quickly remind you that there are still a couple days left for you to use promo code WOLF when purchasing my merch to get 20% discount. I believe it ends at December 14, right after the league start. So thank you for purchasing, and just a quick reminder. And now back to the main video. Now the next big topic, and I saw a lot of, or at least I had a lot of people are very concerned, including me. I'm not sure how exactly this is gonna work, and this is about the two-handed weapon nerfs. So we are changing mods that roll hybrid plus like fortify, but I believe those are shaper. So shaper and elder influenced items are gonna be much harder to obtain, and we're also removing, at least the way I understand. Maybe I'm gonna read what it says first, and then okay, you can no longer roll chance to maim and maim support modifiers on two-handed maces. Only on maces. Hybrid physical damage and support spell damage and support modifiers can no longer roll on two-handed weapons. So this part, people got worried a lot because, so what this means is that elder shaper mods like this, which rolls fortify plus a massive increased physical damage, would be split into two. That's how I understand. How other people understand is that this will be gone, like this will be gone, this will be gone, this will be gone, this will be gone, and cast on crit, cast on melee kill. Actually no, we did not mention these, but people think that, I'm actually also confused. The way I understand is that these specific mods like Fortify plus increased physical damage will be split into two. You will either get Fortify, Socketed gems are supported by Fortify, or you get physical damage increase, but not both as a one mod. Same goes for the spells. Okay, hybrid mods like that, power charge on crit plus increased spell damage, would be split into two. That's how I understand. How others understand is that the power charge on crit would be removed, the cast on crit would be removed, the Fortify would be completely removed. The way this wording is, it doesn't sound like that, because there's also Pristine Fossil also says that the added maximum life and increased maximum life modifiers from Pristine Fossils can no longer roll. And that wouldn't make any sense, because Pristine Fossils are the ones to get life. It wouldn't make sense that we would just remove the life from the life fossils. It wouldn't make sense. What this means is that you won't be able to get flat life and percentage life from pristine fossils at the same time. And it's the same wording as the two-handed one. Hybrid physical damage and support modifiers can no longer roll on two-handed weapons. It just means that it kind of splits those modifiers. It's no longer a hybrid. That's how I understand. Also, another thing, the multi-mod is getting nerfed. You can only, when you craft multi-mod, it says you can only have 3 multi-modded mods. So that includes the multi-mod. So you can craft multi-mod and then 2 other mods, which is, I think, fine. Multi-modded weapons were a bit too OP and too easy to obtain, and kind of trivialized all the other rare items. I guess now quickly to talk about the build that I planned is the I really want to play with the new burning arrow, and this is not the correct numbers. This is using still old burning arrow, and I'm still using soft nurture, which may be difficult to obtain, but I don't really want to use it. It's just because it has additional conversion, which this one doesn't have yet. And there's also something bugged with the PUB right now. If you look at my chance to ignite, I'm not sure if you can see, but it has 2 combustions for some reason. And someone else showed me on the stream that instead of combustion it was showing 2 fireballs. So there's definitely something broken with PUB right now. I wouldn't trust PUB too much right now. And basically just plan your passive skill tree and the rough idea of what items to use and what support gems to use. But basically I want to play with the burning arrow, and I thought maybe try with Trickster. I never really played with the escape artist, so I may try that. And yeah, just build kind of generic burning arrow build. Get like fire damage over time multiplier, life, some ES because of Trickster getting benefits from ES, and it may be easier to scale both life and ES to have decent amount of effective life. This is not like correct values yet, but yeah, you get elemental overload and EE, which is annoying for burning arrow. I always dislike that, playing with burning arrow and using elemental overload on a low crit attack build. This is, by the way, the crit chance is a bit too high, because you would need something else to proc crit chance more reliably to proc elemental overload, which is why I decided to use Orb of Storm, or maybe use Stormbrand with increased crit chance and then Curse and Hit Flammability, and then Scorching Ray with multi-totems. Scorching Ray because we also deal a bit more damage than the Wave of Conviction, which you can use as well for the fire exposure, and then Herald of Ash for a bit more damage. I may need Precision for accuracy. Clarity won't need. Skitterbots got nerfed from 20% damage to 15%. Oh, by the way, the shocks are very interesting now. They are giving like ailment threshold to monsters. It's gonna be much easier to apply strong shocks, and things like Lighting Arrow is getting a special modifiers to apply stronger shocks. Lighting Arrow is gonna have where is it? This new modifier now shocks enemies as foe, dealing 100% more damage at gem level 1 and 195% at gem level 20. So it's not gonna deal more damage, it's just gonna pretend to deal more damage in order to calculate stronger shocks. And you can also find the voltaxic rift having similar mod, but it goes to 300% more, and I'm not sure if that's gonna stack with this lightning arrow. I think it's not gonna stack, and it's gonna use the stronger value, which is voltaxic rift. But voltaxic rift is still has only 60% conversion to lighting, but it does have stronger shocks, very much stronger shocks. So yeah, skitterbots getting nerfs, slight nerf from 20% to 15% more damage against shocked enemies. But I still think that I would be using skitterbots and Herald of Ash instead of Malevolence. Malevolence is only 20% more and it reserves 50% mana, which I don't like, so we'll see. I'm not entirely sure if this is a good idea to start with Burning Arrow, but Burning Arrow has a new mod. The Val Burning Arrow's Threshold Jewel and the one that adds an extra ignite no longer drop, so you cannot get them anymore. So now Burning Arrow has 100% fierce conversion to fire from 50. It deals more ignite damage. It has more chance to ignite, and it now applies an additional debuff when you ignite, dealing extra burning damage based on your magnitude of ignite. So I believe this goes 50% per ignite. Per ignite. So no, wait, 30% per ignite up to 150%. So that could be additional big multiplier, big damage increase. But this is not gonna be an ignite. It's just additional burning damage, but not an ailment. So it's not gonna be scaled additional time. So yeah, we don't know these values in PvP yet. And that's kind of my rough idea what I want to play. I may also try to plan Soul Rend build. I think Soul Rend and Chaos damage over time is gonna be very much viable. Soul Rend is getting a duration buff from 0.4 to 0.6, I believe, which is fine. I think that's the only thing that I would buff for Soul Rend, because it was fine before, and you can always add the Bane, you can always add Essence Drain, Wither Totems to buff the damage of Chaos damage over time. So it's very easy to build Chaos damage over time at the league start. It doesn't even require a lot of good items. And yeah, if not for Burning Arrow, I'll probably go with the Soul Rend, or maybe still try to do the summon Holy Relics. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna be going with the Pure Fizz if I decide to go with the summon Holy Relics. And yeah, that's about all. I'm sinking into darkness, so I guess the next video will be after the league start. So for now, thank you for watching, have a good league start, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.